Have you ever reached the end of a day and wondered how you're already tired, even though nothing particularly intense happened? Maybe you slept well, ate well, handled your responsibilities, and even had a few peaceful moments, yet something inside still feels a little dim, a little heavy, a little off. This experience is extremely common, and it has a simple explanation. Your energy is influenced by more than physical effort. It is shaped by your thoughts, your environment, your interactions, and the small decisions you make throughout the day. Often, the biggest shifts in your energy come from the smallest, most subtle sources. Today, we're going to explore those quiet, almost invisible ways your energy gets pulled away from you. These are the tiny leaks that go unnoticed, but add up over time. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can gently reclaim your energy, your clarity, and your sense of inner steadiness. The goal is not to eliminate every drain. That's unrealistic. The goal is to understand your energy with more precision, so you can support it with intention. Energy is so much more than physical stamina. It's emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's the spark behind your creativity, the clarity behind your decisions, the warmth behind your relationships, and the steadiness behind your confidence. And just like your phone battery, your energy can drain even when you're not doing anything physically demanding. Some drains are obvious: lack of sleep, long work hours, stress. But the subtle drains, the ones we often overlook, are just as impactful. These subtle drains show up in the form of small obligations you didn't truly want to take on, conversations that feel slightly heavier than you expected, digital noise that fills your mind without adding value, thoughts that repeat themselves without resolution, environments that don't match your natural rhythm, expectations you feel pressured to meet. Individually, these drains seem minor. They don't feel urgent. But collectively, they accumulate. And by the end of the week, you might feel a little foggy, a little less motivated, a little emotionally stretched, a little disconnected from yourself. Not because you're doing too much, but because your energy is being pulled in small, consistent ways. Once you start noticing these subtle drains, the beautiful thing is that you can gain the power to shift them. Awareness is the first step toward reclaiming your energy. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward managing your energy more effectively. Let's explore a few everyday scenarios, stories that show how gently energy can slip away without us realizing it. Story 1. The generous friend who gives a little too much. Meet Sarah. Sarah is the person everyone knows they can count on. She's thoughtful, reliable, and always willing to help. She says yes to extra tasks at work, checks in on friends regularly, and shows up for every event she's invited to. None of these actions are negative. In fact, they reflect her strengths. She loves being supportive. She loves being someone others can rely on. But over time, she notices a quiet tension in her chest. She starts waking up feeling slightly drained, even after a full night's sleep. She feels mentally full, not overwhelmed, just full. By the end of the week, she's tired. Not because she did anything extreme, but because she gave away her energy in small, steady doses without pausing to refill her own cup. Her generosity is a strength, but without balance, it becomes a subtle drain. Sarah's story reminds us that even positive, generous actions can drain energy when they're not balanced with moments of restoration. Story 2. The morning scroll that sets the tone. Now let's talk about Alex. Every morning, he checks his phone, just for a few minutes. He wants to check messages, maybe glance at the news, maybe scroll through social media. But a few minutes turn into 20. 20 turns into 40. And before he knows it, an hour has passed. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's simply absorbing information. But by mid-morning, he feels a little scattered, a little behind, a little unsure of himself. Nothing in his real life has changed, but the constant stream of images, opinions, and updates has quietly shaped his mood and energy. Alex's story shows how even passive consumption can influence how grounded and energized we feel. Story 3. The thought that keeps looping. Finally, there's Maya. Her week has been calm. She hasn't had any recent conflicts, but she keeps replaying a conversation from last week. Not because she wants to, but because her mind keeps circling back to it. She thinks about what she said, what the other person said, what she could have said differently. The conversation is long over, yet the emotional residue is still active. Maya isn't physically tired, she's mentally occupied. Her energy is tied up in a moment that has already passed. Her story shows how even quiet, internal thoughts can gently pull energy away from the present moment. Your thoughts can drain energy even when your environment is calm. These stories highlight something important. Energy isn't only drained by doing too much. It's influenced by what you think, what you absorb, what you allow into your space, and what you carry emotionally. Here are simple, uplifting practices that help you protect and restore your energy. These tools are simple, accessible, and designed to fit into real life. 1. The energy awareness check-in. Think of this as a gentle way to understand your personal energy patterns with clarity. For 1 week, take small notes throughout the day. Record when your energy feels high, when it dips, when do you feel a little drained, what activities lift you, what interactions soften your energy, what environments support you. This practice teaches you to recognize your energy objectively, which is the first step toward managing it intentionally. You're not judging anything. You're simply observing. By the end of the week, you'll start to see patterns that were previously invisible. And once you see them, you can support yourself with intention. 2. The focus anchor. Your attention is one of your most powerful forms of energy. Every time you switch tasks, check your phone, or shift your focus, a little energy goes with it. Try choosing one task each day to give your full attention to, even for just 20 minutes. Turn off notifications. Close extra tabs. Let yourself be fully present. This simple practice strengthens your clarity and reduces the subtle fatigue that comes from constant multitasking. 3. Micro boundaries that protect your peace. Boundaries don't have to be big or dramatic. Sometimes the smallest boundaries create the biggest shifts. Examples include saying, "I'll respond later," instead of answering immediately. Taking a breath before agreeing to something, stepping outside for a moment when you need space, allowing yourself to pause before reacting. These tiny boundaries help you stay connected to your energy instead of giving it away automatically. 4. Gentle mental clearing. Your mind is a powerful space, and it deserves clarity. When thoughts start looping, try writing them down. You don't need to solve them, simply release them from your mental space. Ask yourself, is this thought supporting me right now? If the answer is no, you can acknowledge it with kindness and let it drift. You don't have to fight your thoughts. You can simply choose where your energy goes. This practice will help you redirect your energy toward the present moment. 5. Small moments of nourishment. Energy isn't only protected, it's replenished. And often, the most effective replenishment comes from simple actions such as a short walk, a deep breath, a song that lifts your mood, a warm conversation, a moment of stillness, a cup of tea enjoyed slowly, a few minutes of stretching, a quiet pause before transitioning tasks. These small practices will refill your emotional and mental reserves in powerful ways. Here's something empowering to remember. Subtle energy shifts are not signs that something is wrong. They're signals. They're invitations. They're gentle reminders from your inner world. They show you where your attention is going. They show you what matters to you. They show you where you might need more support, more rest, or more boundaries. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to eliminate every drain. You simply need to start noticing. Awareness is key. Start with choosing one small area where your energy feels a little stretched. Observe it with curiosity. Make one tiny adjustment. Over time, these small shifts create powerful change. Your energy becomes steadier. Your clarity becomes sharper. Your joy becomes more accessible. Your motivation becomes more consistent. Energy management isn't about control. It's about alignment. It's about honoring your inner rhythm and supporting yourself with compassion. Today, I invite you to choose one subtle energy shift in your life. Just one. Write it down. Reflect on it. Give yourself permission to support your energy with intention. And if you feel inspired, share in the comments. What's one gentle energy shift you're going to focus on this week? Your awareness might encourage someone else to reconnect with their own energy too. Remember this, your energy is precious, your presence is powerful, and you deserve to feel supported, grounded, and vibrant in your everyday life.